guys. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Behind the Apron podcast. I'm your host, Cassie, and this is Reality Check, Please. You guys, I haven't even finished the Call Her Daddy Huda interview, but I had to stop like midway, or not midway, a little over halfway after the whole Jeremiah conversation portion of the interview to come and make this video. I have not been a Huda fan from almost the very beginning when she kind of just started showing these little weird toxic traits. I will say my heart does go out to her. At the beginning of the interview, it was very difficult to hear and listen to. And I even got a little bit emotional when she shared her upbringing and what she went through as a child. She's the youngest of five, and she does say that there were some very unhealthy behaviors apart from her dad. And it was just very heartbreaking. My heart does go out to her and it does break for her. And what she went through being the youngest, I obviously cannot relate to that, but I can definitely sympathize for her. And I think that we all have to kind of remember we all have reasons as to why we are the way we are. Given, though, what she has gone through, that still does not excuse some of the stuff that she's done. I understand certain things can be triggers, but in that same breath, I will have to say that certain things of what you've gone through in your childhood does not excuse the behaviors that you make as an adult. And my hope and prayer is that she just finds true healing and counseling, because even throughout this episode with Alex Cooper on Call Her Daddy, there were some contradictions in some of her stories and manipulation from what I heard and what I could kind of break out. We will get to debrief the entire podcast, but I had to come and just share with you guys the little bit of what she shared with Alex about Jeremiah. She kind of cannot help herself. Alex had to keep kind of bringing her back to reality and reel her in and say, okay, Huda, I understand your feelings are valid, your reaction is not. And she had to tell her a few times, especially when she was speaking to Huda about her reactions early on with Amaya, with Iris and Jeremiah. Huda's excuse as to why she acted that way with Amaya at the very beginning in the first episode when she walks in as a bombshell is because she thought Amaya was coming after Jeremiah on purpose because she thought Amaya was watching the episodes. Alex even had to tell her, Huda, even if she was watching the episodes, you have to understand that's Amaya's job as a bombshell. And she's like, yeah, people had to keep reminding me of that. But in Huda's mind, the reason that she spoke about Amaya the way that she did is because she thought Amaya was doing it on purpose. Regardless if Amaya was not or if she was, that is the bombshell's job. Their bombshell is to speak to everybody. Amaya, when she's walking in, and even on Alex Cooper's podcast yesterday, Amaya said that she was interested in Jeremiah when she walked in, and that's why she chose him for that challenge. Huda had no right, and I will stand 10 toes down on business. She had no right to react the way she did. And I think Alex had to kind of reel her back in and keep repeating to her, your feelings are valid, your reactions are not. And so fast forward to Jeremiah, she still talks about how Jeremiah did not do this, that, the third for her, and how she is a very reassuring person and how Jeremiah was never there for her and Jeremiah didn't do all these things. We heard on a podcast that Jeremiah said to Huda one time, when I'm in a relationship, I do this, that, the third for my partner. He believes that Huda took that and said, oh, well, we're in a relationship, we're coupled up. She then expected this of him. And when he wasn't doing that, she would throw it in his face as to why he wasn't putting in the effort. So then Alex even asked her, Alex said, Huda, do you think that you reciprocate the standards that you set for your partner? And her reaction to that was, I'm not going to give wifey shit to somebody who doesn't deserve it. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. I wrote down all my notes. She said, I'm not going to give wifey shit to a man who doesn't deserve it. And I was blown away because at the time, I don't think Huda was showing these wifey materials or standards for Jeremiah to show it to her. And at the end of the day, they were not coupled off. They were not boyfriend and girlfriend. And I think that's what Jeremiah's mentality and point of view is coming from. Alex then confronts her and asks her, why did you react the way that you reacted with Iris in the challenge? And Huda's response blows my mind. She says that she saw Jeremiah react the way he did, open his mouth, and kind of goo goo gaga over Iris as she walked in. And Huda says she immediately got the ick. I will never understand this the way Chris will never understand why Huda can have intimacy behind closed doors and not PDA in public. I will never understand it. Huda says that she got the ick with Jeremiah, but she had already sucked down face with two guys, Pepe and Jalen. She even says that Jeremiah was intimidated by Pepe and had already told Huda, the only way I'll be intimidated is if a tall, dark, buff man comes into the villa, and that he kind of got intimidated with Pepe. And then when Pepe showed that he wasn't interested, or vice versa, that he befriended Pepe so that Pepe wouldn't come after or like want to explore Huda. She's blaming editing on a lot of this. And I think that there's only so much editing that you can blame on. At the end of the day, she took accountability for very little. She understood that she reacted the wrong way, but she still tried to justify her reactions. And she would blame it on, she also said that Jeremiah would pull Iris to play ping pong with, and he wouldn't like pull or put that initiative with Huda. I don't know if I believe that, because she says that her and Jeremiah were with each other 24/7 in that villa, and that the guys even had to pull Jeremiah and say, you need to explore, like, you need to, like, kind of separate yourself from Huda. Huda even said that production or staff had to come and like separate them at times when I guess they were supposed to be separated. Huda would say that they would meet each other in the hallway and they would give each other little heart signs from across the villa. And production had to kind of step in and say, okay, guys, take a minute, take a breath, because she says that the more that people try to bring separation to them, the harder she had to fight to mark her territory with Jeremiah, which is why we see that she would leave hickeys on him, why they were intimate. Alex asked her, how far into the season did you get intimate with Jeremiah? And she kind of dodged the bullet and dodged that question. She says, well, we were never really truly intimate. You can never really be intimate in that like scene. Chris has come on in confessional say they outright had sex. She outright said we had sex the night that Jeremiah, or the night that Iris got there. That's that afternoon or the next day is when she leaves hickeys for Jeremiah on his neck. And even Iris pointed it out in the episode. She tells Pepe and Jalen, like, it kind of gives me the ick. You can kind of tell that Hood is marking her territory. So a lot of the things that other Islanders have said on the show and what Huda has actually said on the show are contradicting what she's saying in this interview. So I want to know what you guys think about that, because I just think she's now having to do a lot of damage control. I don't think that they've watched all the episodes, so she doesn't know what's being shown. And because she keeps asking Alex, like, was this shown? Were these conversations shown? And Alex will say, I don't think we saw that. And so she's trying to repaint and redo history to benefit herself, but she hasn't watched what is already aired. I don't know. I don't know if I believe everything in this video. Obviously, some of it has to be true, but she's just trying to recreate a narrative. And she even said, Alex asked, like, what do you think about Jeremiah? Do you think that he has taken accountability for his actions? Do you think that you guys who do you think was more at fault? Huda says we were both at fault. And I think it's very true. Jeremiah was very kind of jealous early on. They pointed out a very true fact. Jeremiah, in that second challenge, when they were kissing with the blindfold challenge, Ace got up to kiss Huda, and Jeremiah was fixated that, Huda stood up to kiss somebody, and he was kind of very like jealous in that moment. That's very understandable, very factual. That happened. He was jealous. Alex even asks Huda, do you think that there was sexual tension between you and Ace? Because there's pictures and screenshots of Ace liking your pictures or videos on Instagram. And Huda admits that there was some sexual tension, that she thought Ace was very attractive early on. She doesn't know how that will play out now and what Ace will say as far as like him liking her pictures. She's like, I don't know if he'll say it's AI or if it's fake. I don't know why you would have that reaction, but you do you, boom. She continues to double down and reiterate that Jeremiah never cared. Alex then asked some sort of question as to why she reacted the way she did when Iris came in the villa. They recoupled, and why she kind of crashed out. She said that her main crash out, after the beach date and the bombshell dates, were because she felt that Jeremiah was winning. I don't know what she would be referring to if America coupled them up and producers put them on those dates. It's not like they chose Iris and Jeremiah only to go on a bombshell date or the recoupling date with these bombshells. Hannah and Pepe went, Alandria and Jalen. So it's not like they were singled out, and it's not like, Jeremiah was winning. I think that she truly just could not comprehend the toxicity in that moment, because she does say in the interview that, looking back on it, she does notice that there was toxicity from both parties, but she does just kind of always double down and blame Jeremiah. She thinks that Jeremiah is coming out of the villa, not taking accountability. Alex even asks her, "Do you think you were love bombed?" And without a beat, without taking a second to think, Huda says yes. And this is her reasoning behind it.
Do you think you were love bombed?
Yeah. Plain simple. I think I was. In all complete honesty. I know that he feels indifferent. I don't think he fully understands the capacity of love bombing. He thinks that love bombing is just gifts and shit. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I heard. I'm just like, that's not it. That's not all of it. Looking at me all the time and being like, I'm just kidding. And mind you, at the beginning of the season, take it from me. Around all my friends, I'm around my daughter 24/7. I'm always saying, okay, love you, bye, love you, bye. Because I say I love you to everybody. Life's too short. Life is too short to not say I love you. And I forgot, like, I hadn't been dating like that at all. Like, it had been since like October or something. Like, I literally was not in the dating world at all. I'm so used to saying, okay, I love you, bye, love you, bye. Even when any of like the people and staff and whatever were like doing things with me beforehand, like in the hotel and whatever, like people, I would always say, okay, love you, bye, love you, bye. That's the type of person I am, a very lovey-dovey person. And I had to catch myself a few times because I kept saying, okay, love you, bye, like to Jeremiah.
I remember that moment. There was like one moment where we saw you say like, love you, bye. And you're like, oh, wait, no.
Yeah, I think I did it a couple times. Like I was, and I had to train myself like, ooh, don't do that. Cause I didn't mean to. It was not intentional. But he would look at me and be like, just kidding. I like you. Like he would do that to me a lot.
So her excuse as to why she thinks that Jeremiah is love bombing her is because he would just kind of play with her and joke around and say, no, just kidding, I like you, and that he would do it in bed. I made a TikTok video and I gave the definition of love bombing. Love bombing is the manipulation into trying to get something out of someone. I personally don't think that Jeremiah love bombed her. I think that they were very territorial early on and they were very toxic and there was a ton of jealousy, but I don't think that there was love bombing going on, at least on her part, or at least on his part. But I want to know what you guys think. Sorry, my son is under me and he is not happy. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Let me know what you think down below. I can't believe that she's still coming out of this villa saying that he gets to play and paint his own narrative. Huda even came out and said to Alex that she thinks that because Jeremiah left early from the villa, that he is painting his own narrative and gets to paint himself as the bigger person or the better person out of this. I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with that narrative? Do you agree with that statement that Hood is saying? Or are we team Jeremiah? Let me know down below and I'll catch you guys soon later.